So before we get started, Meg, what do we want people to do?
Subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Maybe like this video. I know you haven't seen it yet, but you're gonna like it.
It's a good one.
All right, so let's get started, Meg. What do we have here today?
Today we have the Puma Fast-R Nitro Elite.
Don't get that confused with what Molly wore in the Olympics, which was the Deviate Nitro Elite.
Yes.
And don't get that confused with the Deviate Nitro. So there's a lot of shoe talk going on here. They all have Elite, Nitro, all that stuff going on. But this is the new racing shoe from Puma, and I think this is gonna pour some fuel on the fire, because as far as the Deviate Elite goes, I mean, it's a nice shoe, but I wouldn't consider it like a top tier race day shoe, even though Molly makes it a top tier race day shoe. She's special, I'm not. What about you?
For me, the Nitro Elite didn't really have that pop and comfort that you want in a super shoe. It was a great shoe, it just wasn't that race day shoe you really wanted.
I didn't feel the plate in it much.
Yeah.
You know, it just felt, I would kind of put it on the same tier as maybe the Endorphin Speed from Saucony or some of those second tier racing shoes. But tell me, Meg, off the bat, before we get into the details, does this one fit the bill?
Yes. This is a definite upgrade, a very warm welcome into the lineup. I've probably put about 50 miles on it so far, and I'm really enjoying it. I will say, off the bat, this is what they call their marathon shoe. For me personally, I think this is my half marathon and below shoe. Okay.
Is it just not enough cushioning?
It's not the cushioning so much as I feel like this shoe comes alive when you are going all out.
Okay.
When you are running really hard,
on your toes.
Really fast, that's when this shoe comes to life.
All right, and another thing we should probably note before we get started, this is an early version of the shoe. There's gonna be some changes. Do you know what the changes are off the bat?
Yeah, so there's a few changes. In the upper, this tape's getting a little bit shorter. They are going to be adding some heel slits in this EVA foam, and that's in order to sort of slow down on landing and impact and sort of give you a little bit more of a stable ride. And then there was one other thing that he mentioned.
The grip, I think the...
Yeah, so the outsole, just the grip and the way this is laid out is gonna change a bit.
In this version, the outsole won't look the same?
It might look a little bit different, but it's still gonna be Puma grip, which is their amazing, very durable, very traction-y rubber.
So before we get into all that, let's go with the upper, how it's put together.
Yeah, so you have a single layer mono mesh.
I love mono mesh.
Upper here. It's super light, you can see through it in parts. They have this tape for their overlays, and then they actually have a knit around the collar and heel and for the tongue. So, I don't know if you remember, but the Asics Gel Nimbus Light 3 had an amazing tongue, very similar to this one. It's stretchy, it's comfortable, it's a weird thing to love, but I absolutely love the tongue in this shoe.
As far as comfort goes, it doesn't have a lot of padding. You didn't find that was the laces dug in or anything?
No issues with that. There is a tiny little padding grippy thing here in the tongue. I don't know what exactly this is for, but
that's where you're pulling your shoe on. So you grab here and here. And
there's a little rocket. Yeah. So it's a very nice little rocket. But yeah, so fit-wise, I thought it worked great. I actually have a half size larger than I typically go with. That's what they had available. And so normally I think they want this to be like a very sock-like fit, tight around the foot. I had a little extra room in the front, which I personally love because I have a wider foot. So I was fine with the half size up. So
let's talk about the midsole, and one of the things that people are gonna notice off the bat, the exposed power plate.
Yeah, so you have this.
It's like the Fast-R. It's not spelled power with letters. Well, they use letters, but they leave out the vowels.
Puma hates vowels.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Hates the vowels. Anyway. They cost extra money. Like if you're playing Wheel of Fortune,
very expensive.
Don't you have to pay for the vowels on that?
I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah, I think you did.
Anyway, obviously there is a decoupled construction here. So in the back you have this EVA foam that's actually not as responsive, and that was intentional. It's supposed to sort of help you with stability when you land on your heel. And then in the front here you have their Nitro Elite, is that what it's called? The Nitro Elite foam, which is...
it actually says it right here, Meg, Nitro Elite.
A bio-based P-backs, and it's super responsive. So you get this sort of like not softer, but more stable landing, and then a very bouncy toe off. And then obviously you have this power plate, which is a full length carbon plate. It goes all the way through, reinforced here. They put a little sticker on here when you get it that says,
you can crack this sucker.
This can break, which means what? It means some jackwad over there broke this, because that's the only reason they put those signs up, where it's like when you're at the airport and it's like, don't stick your hand in this grinding machine.
Yeah, I love that one. It's like at the cranks and your hand's getting all mangled. It's like, don't touch this. Oh, okay. So quick question for you, Meg. You look at this and you say, all right, is this a feature you need? Could they just put foam in between? You said bio-based Peebacks, and talking to Puma, they were like, it's not an environmental choice, it's that this happened to be the best Peebacks that they tried for this shoe and that they could get their hands on. This was the best springy foam that they could get. Before we go too far, how did it feel to you underfoot?
I really liked it. It's really bouncy, it's super light, very responsive. So like I said, on that, especially that toe off, you really feel like a bounce.
All right, and then getting back to the plate here, do you think is this a design element that they're separate, or do you think you could have had the foam go all the way back?
There's a couple of things I think about here, and also Todd even said this look is sort of like fun. So it's partially aesthetics. I think also you're reducing weight here. You've got no extra foam. There's nothing extra here, so you're really reducing that weight. And then I do feel like, I don't know, maybe it adds something to that transition where you really do feel that plate, especially as I was saying, on those really fast paces.
The only other race day shoe that kind of has a decoupled look to it would be the Alpha Fly, where you have the front end and then kind of like, it still has foam at the top, but you have that open area behind the pods that give you that extra flex.
Yep.
Do you think that's maybe the same type of feel? Because I know that's one of your favorite shoes that you get from this.
Yeah, so it's definitely a similar feel. Like I said, I really liked it when I was running the faster paces, where I felt like it was a little different than the Alpha Fly. When you put the Alpha Fly on, you can be running any pace and it feels like a trampoline. It feels great. When you're running the easy paces in this, it feels a little bit more disjointed, not as friendly and light and bouncy as the Alpha Fly.
So this starts tuning up as your pace gets faster.
Yep. The other thing to note about the upper is this
shark fin.
Yeah, essentially they're calling it the heel spoiler, I think. And it's just a piece of plastic, but it really does actually serve a purpose.
You call this TPU if you want to be fancy.
Okay, TPU. And so it does actually help secure your heel and give you like a lockdown foot in the back here.
All right, so do you know the drop on this shoe?
37.5, 30 in the forefoot for a 7.5 millimeter drop.
So that's not quite as high as some of the super shoes that we're used to running in.
Yeah, it's not quite as high, but like I said, you do get a nice bounce out on the run. My women's size 8 came in just under 7 ounces, and which is pretty standard. It's maybe slightly heavier than like the Alpha Fly, Vapor Fly, but really light and comfortable.
$1 million question. Is this gonna be on your feet for any races soon?
I have a half marathon next month, and to be honest, it'll be between this and the Alpha Fly. We normally, after we review a shoe, a lot of times it goes on the shelf and it never really gets back on our feet. This is one where I want to put some more workouts on it, and like I said, it might end up on my feet for the next half marathon.
And I would be interested to see if we got the pair that's like the final pair with the slits, what you think of the difference. So hopefully we'll be able to have an update for you on that. The rest of the team here will be getting this shoe. We're not all sample size like Meaghan, so she got a head start on us, but we're looking forward to everybody from myself to Brandon maybe getting a pair of these in to see how it works out for the guys and at different paces. So we'll check it out and get back to you, and hopefully we won't break this in the meantime.
All right.
Can you make a cracking noise?
Special effects man.
Does the Fast-R get the green light or the red light?
Green light.
What?
Magic.
Yes. All right, so that's it. Puma Fast-R
Nitro Elite.
All right, so hopefully you learned something new about the Puma Fast-R Nitro Elite, and we'd love it if you could, if you didn't already, because we asked you at the beginning, but if you didn't do it, like the video now, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell on, watch our podcast or listen to our podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. The Drop. We also have Fuel for the Soul with Meaghan Featherston, where we talk about nutrition for athletes, which is very different than nutrition for people who sit on the couch. So you should check that out. And our Instagram is always popping off whatever we're going to be reviewing next. So check that out. Join our Strava group so we can keep up on your runs. And stay cool. Stay classy, San Diego. Ready to go?
Ready to go.
Get yourself pumped up. You ready to pump? Ready? All right.